and welcome to 5 days to go. I want to call this show 5 days to go because we're all so excited. That's right, it's another Gadsby's England Euro 2020 countdown. Wanted to do it today as England have just finished their last warm-up match against Romania, and guess what? The Romanian curse has been vanquished. Guess how long it's been since England beat Romania? 51 years. Like, twice as long as I've lived, right? Incredible. I mean, it's been that long. It's great to have that finally out of the way. Not that it's a huge deal in the current circumstances. The Romanian team, of course, nothing like they used to be. But it's a victory, 2 victories. Probably should have been 2-0, apart from a missed penalty. And England, are they ready? Are we any closer to being confident in the first team, in the formation? Are we feeling secure? Are we nervous? I think we all know the answer to that, or at least which one of those feelings is overriding. This is England after all. I always wonder if, fans of other countries have this same problem. The big countries, France, Germany, etc. So to answer some of these questions and to give us an enriching experience with stats and digging deep as he always does, let's introduce Mr. Keith Golding. Keith, hopefully coming in. Keith?
I think it's all over. It is now.
Hopefully you won't be saying that next Sunday.
Oh, God, don't.
Unless it's 4-2. That's a great T-shirt. Where'd you get that from?
I found it at a charity shop. I think it was in Henley.
You are brilliant at getting a T-shirt and knickknacks and things like that.
Fabulous. I find some brilliant things. I mean, this is just perfect.
It's fantastic, isn't it? And I'm trying to identify. It must be more.
Go on.
Charlton, Hurst, and don't tell me.
I'm not telling you.
So Banks, Charlton, Moore, Hurst. I want to say Peters, but I don't think it is Peters, is it?
It's not Peters. Who does it look like?
Looks like Beckham. Who would that be? Styles? Nobby? No.
Nobby Styles.
Is it Nobby?
Yes.
Oh, brilliant. And we've only one of them remained, sadly. It's I don't know, Hurst is still around, isn't he? Charlton and Hurst is still around. So sadly. That's a great T-shirt. Where's mine? I bought you a T-shirt. You can get me one.
I tell you what, if there'd been 2, I would have got you one. Trust me.
Well, you know what? I can look at it and I can send it to this great T-shirt maker guy. He'll
yeah. I'll get. You know what? I'll get one made for you. Don't worry.
Oh, you're a top man. Cool. All right, mate. So, God, where do we begin? What do you think of today's performance? We finally beat the Romania curse.
That's right. Yeah, I read your little report. Yeah, I think it was a very entertaining game. I must admit, it was end to end. I mean, the score could have been a tennis score, Lee, 6-4.
Yeah, entertaining, but not particularly good.
No, because I'm worried about the defending wasn't the best. But I tell you, Sam Johnson made some good saves.
Yeah, God, wasn't that a brilliant save?
There was a few.
Yeah, I mean, if Pickford does, make a mistake, then at least we've got a very, very, able deputy, right?
Able substitute goal. Yeah, that's right.
What do we think we've learned? I mean, should we start off with a question that probably, a key material question: who is going to replace Alexander-Arnold? I mean, I have 3 here that it's supposedly down to, which is Lingard, Ben White, or Ward-Prowse. I mean, who would be your pick?
I would probably pick. Well, it's one of 2. It's either Ward-Prowse or Lingard, but it's probably going to be. I think it's going to be the way Ward-Prowse played today. You could just see how the quality of his crosses. I
mean, he and Grealish were the best players on the park, weren't they? Really,
he and Grealish were the best. I think Luke Shaw had a great game today too.
Luke Shaw is just how fantastic is to see him finally make a tournament. He's been so unlucky with injury. I mean, certainly my favourite left back since Ashley Cole. I think he potentially world class, and I think he
I think,
starts without any question, doesn't he?
That's a toughie. Yes, love Luke Shaw, but the way that Chilwell's performed this season for Chelsea,
Yeah, it's a tough one.
that's a real toughie. I tell you who else played well today. I think Rashford, even though he made a couple of mistakes, I think he had a good workout today.
I think he did, and I think another great penalty from him. Not so good from Jordan Henderson.
Yeah, but Jordan Henderson is very rusty. He was very, but at least he played a half.
He played, and I think he got into it more as the game went on, and he played some lovely touches, actually.
He played some nice through balls, didn't he? Little chip over the bat.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you speak up a little bit?
Yes, of course, mate. Yes.
Your hear some of your oratory skills, which we know you have.
Oh, my friend.
Yeah, so I think we Ward-Prowse certainly on form would be the logical one. I mean, defensively, he can defend, can't he? I mean, he can.
Yes, Ward-Prowse can defend. Sure.
And I think his creative talents. I mean, those deliveries. That one of those free kicks was a dream free kick. I mean, I don't know how it wasn't poked in, but that curler that just flashed across goal.
It flashed across goal, and the one that Calvert-Lewin almost scored, hit the bar.
Yeah,
great header, great cross. I mean, he's got to be. He's got to
be in the frame.
I think he's got to start. I mean, that's another thing that we should talk about, Lees.
Well,
who do you think is going to be your starting 11?
That's a huge call to say that not only Ward-Prowse should take Alexander-Arnold's place, but you think he should actually start the game against Croatia.
What should we talk about? Who we think should start on Sunday?
Yeah, it's my show.
Cool.
That was actually going to be my next question. Just very quickly going back onto the defensive frailties today. Then I want your lineup. How worried are you, or since this is probably nowhere near the defence that we're going to get, are you not so worried? Because I'm a bit worried about our defence.
I'm more worried on the central defence situation rather than the wing backs. Rather than left back and right backs. You got some strong left back and right backs. I mean, who are you going to have? Are you going to have?
Many of them, Martin.
Walker. Are you going to have Trippier? Or are you going to have?
Who are we missing?
Chelsea.
Reece James. When he said
Reece James, because I think he's had a blinder season.
Can't he also play central defence?
Yeah, he plays central too. So that might be an added advantage. You could have, theoretically, you could have Trippier, Reece James, Maguire. I don't think Maguire will play Saturday, but I'd love to Sunday. But I'd love to see him. I'd love to see him. This would be my ideal. I would Trippier, Reece James, Maguire, Stones.
Sure.
I want to go short.
That would be a 3-5-2, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Which is interesting. You bring that up because a week ago we were all talking 4-3-3, but today a lot of the pundits were saying he is actually going to go 3-5-2 again. And a lot of people see that as negative.
I don't think so, because you've got your three central defenders. You've got Luke Shaw that can go up. You've got two great attacking fullbacks. You've got four great. Listen, you've got four great attacking fullbacks, because not only do you have Trippier on the right, you have Walker on the right, you have Chilwell, who's brilliant at running up, and you got Luke Shaw.
Yeah, I mean, what I think Ian Wright had today was something just out. I mean, I was pretty shocked by it. I don't want to misquote, but I think he had Shaw on the left of a five in the middle, Walker, Stones, and it wasn't James. Who was the other one? Gosh, who's the other central defender? Not Mings. Who am I missing?
Cody.
No, it wasn't Cody either. We'll try and think of it, but it was a weird one. And then on the right was, I think James was on the right. Then you had Phillips and Rice as the two middle, and then you had Mount, Phillips, Rice, Shaw, and then he had Rashford and Kane up front. So I mean, certainly wouldn't be my team, but
No, that's not my team. That's not my team.
No Sterling, no Grealish. I mean, you know, that how much of a shock would that be?
I mean, if you had the 3-5-2, I mean, you got, you know, I've said who I think would possibly be the 5 defenders. The 3 midfielders. Are you going to have Henderson start, or are you going to have Rice starting?
Looks like Henderson won't start, if that's to be believed, but I mean, that'll be on the fitness checks, won't it?
So if that's the case, you're going to have Rice. I would have Rice, Mount, Grealish. But bloody hell, yeah. You know, you've also got to think that none of the, hang on a second, none of the City and Chelsea players started today.
No, and that's the other thing. I mean, you're forgetting a certain Mr. Foden as well.
I know. I was just going to say, we've got Foden, you've got Sterling. Obviously, you've got Mount, and you've got, well, that Mount's obviously the only. You've got Mount, Chilwell, and the other defender, yeah. But
yeah,
I mean, what format would you do? A 3-5-2?
I mean, no, I think you know, we should go now with a 4-3-3, which is I think the way to go now. And I would go with
that's fine. So if you do 4-3-3, who's your 4 defenders?
Well, Trippier will probably be right back now that AA's gone. I would have Stones, and I mean, if we can put James, assuming Maguire isn't fit, I'd like to see if we could put James there. If not, who would the choice be? Let me see what
Maguire. You got Maguire, Stones, and Mings.
Yeah, I'm going to go through the possibilities here. There are some permutations here that I've got. So rather than actually use my brain, I'll just use somebody else's. So you've got Cody could be there. You know, it's Mings. These are the choices, I guess, right? You've got Walker. I guess it could be Walker and Stones, and Walker and Stones might be tempting because they're both City players and they
that's true
understand each other. But whether you want Walker in the
excuse me,
fever. Whether you want Walker in a 4, I don't know. But so that I can't answer that. I would say Stones, Shaw, Trippier, the central defender. I suppose, you know, I'd love it to be Maguire, but that doesn't seem like it's going to happen. And so I just wonder if Reece James can play there. I don't know if that's something you can consider. My midfield 4 would be Rice, Henderson if he's fit. If not, it will have to be Phillips. Mount.
You won't have Rice and Henderson together.
Rice and Henderson together. Well, I think he would. Why not?
Would you? Well,
I think that's
two holding midfielders.
Well, I think, and then you have Foden and Mount as the creative. I mean, I know that a lot of people say Foden forward. I mean, he's a forward midfielder in my view. I hate this terminology of forwards, you know, having to be strikers, which is not what that is. But I mean, that would be my 4, and then the 3 at the front. I mean, what have you got? You could do Foden. You could do Grealish, Sterling, and Kane. I mean, you know.
So you'd rather see a 4-3-3 than a 3.
Sorry, I've got this wrong. My mistake. The 3 would be Mount, Rice, and Henderson or Phillips, and then the 3 up front is basically is probably going to be Foden, Sterling, and Kane. Though you could take. I mean, the crowd favourite right now. The crowd would like to see Sterling out and Grealish in. I think that's what the obvious. The unsaid said is at the moment. I think I'm going to detract from that. I think we have to give Raheem a chance because he has been outstanding for England. He's one of the 2 truly world-class players that England have. His form hasn't been great, but I think he should be given the chance because if he gets going, he can slaughter you.
But I still think, Lee, that Southgate might do a 3-5-2.
Well, this is what I'm thinking now as well. I think it's more likely. So I'm giving you what I would start with, and that would be, I'd basically have that for. I'd have Henderson, Rice, Mount, and then I would have. I think I would have Foden, Sterling, and Kane. But I mean, Sterling and Grealish is. I mean, for me, Sterling would have to come on and put a stamp on the game against Croatia to make himself unavoidable, for Grealish to be kept out. And I think any forward player would have to be brilliant for Grealish to be kept out. I think Foden will have to be on his game. I think Sterling, and I think obviously Kane won't get dropped no matter what.
No Sandro. No Sandro.
Grealish. If he does 3-5-2, yeah, it could be Stones, Walker, James, or Mings. I don't know. With them, what James as a wing back, and then Shaw as a left wing back, and then what would you have? That leaves your three, which would be Rice, Henderson, Mount, and then Sterling and Kane up front, or Grealish, behind Kane. And then you sort of have Kane as a single striker. I think Kane is sort of the pivot anyway. The thing about Kane and Sterling is that they work so well rotating that position. When Kane goes forward, Sterling sort of holds off, and then Kane and Sterling just have that sort of synergy, and then Kane is able to release Sterling sometimes. So I worry that just dismissing that and just sticking Grealish in there, supposing it doesn't go right. There's no question the guy is phenomenal. He's precocious, talent who just gets people off their feet. But I don't want England to sort of blow their, to sort of blow their potential ace in the pack if, he goes out there and it doesn't work out. Whatever reason that he's always going to be good, but for whatever reason, Kane's not right. Well, or something, but so that's why I would probably go against the popular view, but only just and it minutes if Sterling isn't performing, even if I give Sterling a half, and if he hasn't really made a mark on the game, I'd probably even bring Grealish on at half time. That sounds horrible towards Raheem because he's a brilliant player, but we're trying to win the tournament here.
What about Rashford?
Yeah, and it's difficult as well, and he may well start with that. I mean, I think Ian Wright said he may go with Rashford, Sterling, and Kane up front in a. I don't know if that was a three. It was a weird formation. I think Rashford would be one of the five, and then Kane and Sterling. So
yeah, I think if he did have Rashford and he did play Sterling and Kane, he got Sterling and Kane, he got Rashford just behind.
I mean, he loves Rashford, and so do I. And it's that classic, cliche. It's a great problem to have. I don't actually think it is necessarily a great problem to have at the moment because, if he gets it wrong with all those players, it could be square pegs and round holes with some of them. Brilliant players, but
I don't think I'd start Foden, by the way.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that. I think you've got to. I think you've got to start Foden and Mount personally, but you might be right. And that
Foden's, I don't know. I don't know if I'd start Foden. I might have him on the bench and see how things go by in the first half.
I mean, I think last week everybody was talking about that. Everybody was saying, it's going to be Foden and Mount, no question about it. But now I think there is a feeling that, he may not start Foden and he may start Rashford instead. Obviously not.
I'd like to see Mount, Grealish and Rashford.
But I mean, I think against an ageing Croatia, the speed of Foden and Mount is very tempting. Of course, Rashford has that as well, but the sort of, the deftness of Mount and Foden as well, they can cut through defences, where I think Rashford's brilliant going forward, but he's more of a striker. Whereas I think, to overcome Croatia, you need to do so in midfield. I mean, assuming Modric is going to be playing, you need somebody as sort of clever, a cat as like Modric is,
Talk about Modric, he's playing his 900th game for Croatia on Sunday.
900?
No, just kidding.
I hope so.
A lot of those players played so many games for Croatia. I mean, you're right. They are I think they're the oldest team in the competition.
But don't
one of them.
See, that's a dangerous assumption to think, oh, they're going to be a pushover. I mean, in many ways, that means they'll be a pushover.
They've always done well in knockout stages, you know?
Yeah, and it's fitness, not age. So, you know, I mean, this aging.
Look what happened 3 years ago, for God's sake, you know?
They will be wily and they will know England's weaknesses and they will remember what happened in the semi-final. And they got into England's heads. They'll intimidate. If Grealish plays, they'll foul him all over the place. I just desperately hope that referees won't stand for any of that, because otherwise he's going to get kicked out of the tournament, you know.
I tell you what's good, though, with the Euros, and of course they're doing it, is the fact that there's going to be 5 substitutions.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And then a 6, I believe, if there's extra time, right?
Huh?
I think a 6 if there's extra time.
1 extra in the knockout stages, yes.
Yeah, in extra time, yeah. So yeah, no, that is good. It's very different, you know, sort of setup. We'll see how it goes, you know, bigger squads and everything. I mean, how confident are you overall at this juncture? I'm getting nervous, as I always do.
Well, the reason I'm feeling very nervous is that who will play if we qualify. You know, obviously we've got to get through the group stage. If we get through the group stage, look who we're going to have to play.
Hungary, mate.
Yeah, right. I mean, you got more likely you got Portugal, France, or Germany.
Germany, but did you know that Hungary? Here's some interesting. I mean, you should be telling me this. Hungary's 2 of their games are at home. They are in Budapest, so
doesn't matter.
No, but it's conceivable that they could hold Portugal, for example. It wouldn't surprise me. Portugal are notoriously.
Didn't they draw with them 3-3 in 5 years ago?
Well,
Hungary, France.
Yeah, I think
was it 3-3 with Hungary? Wasn't it?
Hungary. It's well remembered. If you look that up, let's look it up.
I think I'm wrong. I think the first game they played Portugal, because Portugal they drew their 3 games.
I think you're right.
3rd. I'm sure.
Let's have a look. Let's see.
Yeah, I am a stat man. I should know.
Mate, you're absolutely spot on. A 3-3 game, and they almost knocked.
They almost lost to Portugal. They scored in the 90th minute.
So, you know, Portugal are notorious slow starters. I'll give you a scenario where Portugal go out, the champions in the first round. Hungary come second, and Germany come third.
Germany come third and don't make it because they don't get enough points. Can you imagine?
And sneak through in third and then go and win the damn thing.
Yeah,
like
that's what Portugal did.
I wouldn't, you know, maybe this is wishful thinking, but I wouldn't just discount Hungary completely yet. You know, tournaments aren't surprises. To just assume.
I'm not. You know, you have to think those are the favourites to get through. But you're right. It could be. Hungary could sneak in 2nd or 3rd. You just don't know.
It's late, but it's.
You think to yourself, England in our group, do you want to finish 1st or 2nd? You know what I mean?
First, because if I looked at finishing 2nd, we would get an easier game in the last 16, but it wouldn't be at Wembley. And then if we beat, it would be somebody like, I think it would be like Sweden or Denmark. We would then get a powerhouse in the quarterfinals, which I believe looks like France.
Mate, it doesn't matter. No, listen, I think the scenario is, even if we're 1st or 2nd, if we're 1st, we'll play the runners-up of group France's group, and if we're 2nd, we play the winners.
No, we don't. If we're 2nd, the Euros are really complicated tournaments. If we're 2nd, we play a different group winner, or it may not even be that. We could also play a 2nd place team because of the way the Euros is. Remember, with this complicated 3rd place team, the four of the best 3rd place teams
get through.
Go through. It's hard to get knocked out in the first round, basically. I mean, more teams go through than don't.
Well, you got to think to yourself that 16 teams out of the 24 get through. Yeah. There's only 8 teams that don't get through.
Only 8 teams are eliminated.
So just to recap, you're saying that we might not automatically have to play France, Germany, or
no. If we, I mean, I can tell you right now. I mean, it's really complicated, but I have the Euro 2020 app, mate, which I hope you'll be getting.
Of course.
Let's see what this is the easiest way. I mean, this gets so complicated, and it gets so complicated that unlike at the World Cup, we may not even know on the night,
who we're playing.
Whether we're playing first or second in group this, group that. We won't know until they pick the best third place. Right. So it's going to be one of these permutation nightmares probably. But where's my app? Give me a sec here.
Okay.
Euro. Maybe UEFA deleted it off my phone because they found some sort of breach of rules. Maybe it's on my other phone. Hold on. Oh yes, my apologies. Right, I'll tell you right now. I wonder if UEFA can even figure it out, to be honest. Right, how do I skip that? Skip that. Makes you want to log in and everything. I already logged in. I'll give it 30 seconds. I don't want to bore our. Can you name all venues of the Euros while I'm doing this? Name me all the venues.
Oh God, no, that's it. Well, Budapest. Italy, but there's only, isn't there just eight countries that are hosting?
There are. Sorry, I'm now looking at the permutations. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11.
11 out of the 24.
Yeah.
Turkey. No. Italy.
Rome. Yeah.
Rome. Paris. Obviously France. I mean,
no, they're not. They were, but I don't think they got it in the end. No.
Sweden.
No. You're not doing very well here. That man.
Holland.
Yes, Amsterdam.
Germany, definitely not.
Yes.
Munich. It is Germany. Oh, Munich's hosting too. Shoot, I didn't. Well,
I've already talked to you about one of them.
Wembley's hosting.
What? No. I've just said to you who's in the group of death and he's hosting.
France, Germany, Portugal, and Hungary.
Hungary.
Yeah, Hungary. I said Budapest.
Oh, did you say that? I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the first one I said. Spain.
Seville.
Yep. Is Wales hosting one or Switzerland?
No, they were, I believe, but no, they're not anymore. Scotland. Did you say Glasgow?
I did say Scotland.
Yeah.
So 2 more. Definitely not North Macedonia.
How did you know? That's a backup if it doesn't work out.
Austria or Romania.
Shall I tell you?
Go on.
Keeping out. I mean, normally we'd sit in a pub and spend hours on this, but we are doing a show. So Amsterdam, Baku, ridiculously, Azerbaijan, Bucharest, Romania, Budapest, Copenhagen, Glasgow, London, Munich, Rome, St. Petersburg.
Oh, St. Petersburg, right.
There's some interesting home matches for some. I mean, Russia obviously are playing at home. They've got Belgium their first game. That's going to be very tricky. Scotland get 2 home games apart from Wembley, of course. And I tell you what, if a team is looking interesting right now, I would say Scotland is looking interesting right now. They seem to have really got it together, and I I would think this will be a much more of a challenge for England than we think it might be.
Oh, I'm
Arthur's
100%.
got that team really.
They just played a Dutch team away. They had 7 players that couldn't play due to COVID, and they nearly won 2-1.
Yeah, they should have won, actually.
Won. Total domination.
Yeah.
I'm worried about Scotland, to be honest.
I am worried about Scotland. I mean, suddenly our group, from looking relatively straightforward, now looks very dangerous.
I agree with you. I think our group is probably the second strongest, to be honest.
Arguably, I think there are some tricky all over the place, but the Czechs are the last team to beat us. Actually, no, in quite they are, and they are vastly improved as well. So
I know
need that water just to. I'm worrying about it. But yeah, I mean the second. Let's just get this out of the way. If we were to come second,
let's say if we were to come first.
Right, here we go. Group stage. Festival schedule. Tickets. Let's see. God, it doesn't make this easy, does it? All right, here we go. Matches and groups. Matches. All right, Group A, Group B, Group C. I don't even think we actually even... This is the problem. I don't even think we know. Round of 16. Here we go. So, look, if we came second in Group D, we would definitely meet the second in Group E in Copenhagen. And the second in Group E, that's a group with, do you know Group E? Let's see. Let's look at the groups. Group E is, how do you like this lot? Spain, Poland, Slovakia, and Sweden. So it would be a much easier game relatively.
Spain, Poland, Sweden, or Slovakia.
Yeah.
You think Spain's got to win that group?
I mean, in likelihood, it would be an easier tie, of course, than. But then the problem with it is that
it's interesting you're saying that though. It's second versus second.
Second versus second in that case, yeah.
It's like that because there's only 6 groups of 4.
That's right. And the problem then becomes, if we were to get through that, we then would be faced with, I'll tell you, I mean, we're getting way into it, but we love doing this sort of thing.
Well, maybe we should just wait because we've got to win our group.
Yeah, no, you might be right. So, you know, you would have winner, sorry, what is that? Group D.
Okay, so what if we win our group? We play second.
One, two, three. If we win our group, that would be match 4, and then match 2 would be so first in Group A, second in Group C, first in Group A, second. Right. Okay, this would be it. Ready? First in Group A, that would be Italy, Switzerland, Turkey, Wales, and second
Italy,
the Austria, Netherlands, North Macedonia, Ukraine. I mean, you know what? You're right. It would be a lot better to come second in the group.
Yeah, because if we come first, I think if we come first, we're playing most likely Portugal. Well, one of Portugal, France, Germany, or Hungary.
So it looks like it would be Slovakia, Sweden, or Poland in the last 16 if we came second in Copenhagen, and then it would be probably Italy or Holland in the quarterfinals, and you'd take either of those, wouldn't you? Really,
I'll take Holland or Italy, I think.
You know, as opposed to France, Germany, followed by, I think, Spain.
That's a nice run.
It's ridiculous how they formatted this tournament. They've got it all wrong. I mean, it shouldn't be, you know, coming first and having such a more difficult run. I mean, so what do we do in that situation? It's another one of these situations. What would you say? Is it better to keep Wembley in the last 16 or sacrifice Wembley in the last 16 to play Slovakia, Sweden or Poland in all likelihood?
That's a tricky. You got experienced countries that do well in these competitions. You probably want to be away from Wembley.
Let's just let Scotland win the group. Let them deal with France.
And deal with this shite after, right?
Like Wales. I mean, Wales won the group last time, didn't they? That we were in, which was amazing. So, But you know, all right. Well, look, the shouting is all but over. You've said how you're feeling. Can we do it this time?
Say again.
Can we do it this time? More than any other time. They think it's all over. Is it now?
Oh, I can't. I'm worried. I'm really worried.
Yeah, I'm worried too. But you know, we do have supposedly this team now with an incredible.
I will tell you something, and I'll tell you something right now. Two things. If you break the hoodoo and get through the semi-final, we'll win the whole competition. We'll win the final if we get through the semi-final.
If we get through the second round, I think that's a great call. Yeah.
The second thing is, if we do win the final, I'm putting 3 lions tattoo on my shoulder, mate, right here. The three lines.
I might join you.
Yeah, go. Would you? Are you saying this right now?
I was going to.
Would join me?
I was going to get I like a good sailor, but maybe I won't.
That's so funny. So Croatia, right? Croatia on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, I think you know,
we've had
them at Wembley 2-1.
We've had some mighty games against Croatia.
Oh my God, that's an epic team. I mean, you know, judging by England's performances, although lately we've been better. I mean, we did win our first game. I mean, it does have kind of a draw written on it, doesn't it? Which wouldn't be a bad result. They get criticised probably, but I wouldn't panic if we got a draw with Croatia.
Oh, I don't mind a draw. I'd love a win, but I don't mind a draw.
No,
the key is not to lose the first game.
No, we can't lose the first game. That would be terrible to lose the first game at Wembley. We have to avoid. But you know, maybe a dull draw might not even be a bad thing, just to get that out of the way. But you got any other stats for us before?
Regarding Croatia, how many games we played against them? 10.
Oof.
Since 1996. That's 25 years. We played 10 games. We've won 5, drawn 2, lost 3.
We've got the better of them mostly, I think.
Yeah, but you think about us. They've probably got the better of us in the bigger tournaments, because you got to think in the Euros in 2000. You know, in the 2000s, was it 2006, 2007 qualifications? You know what happened.
Yeah. Yeah,
they lost today, and then the infamous 3-2 home defeat knocked us out of the 2008 Euros.
And then, of course, we went there.
Of course, September the same. Well, of course, September of 2008. We beat them 4-1 away in Croatia, and we beat them 5-1 at home at Wembley.
Yeah.
However, can you name the goal scorers?
Well, Walcott scored a hat trick away.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, it was an
amazing. And you know who scored the other goal?
Gerrard?
Rooney.
Was it Rooney? And then at home, I know Gerrard scored a couple, didn't he?
5-1 at Wembley.
Who scored at Wembley?
We thrashed them 5-1.
Yeah, I was there. I remember it well. 2010. Sorry, 2010.
Gerrard scored 2.
Yeah.
Lampard scored 2. And Rooney scored the 5th. Rooney scored the 5th.
Is that right? Great. Yep. Oh, that should have led us on to great things, those 3, but it never did it. No, we really thought that was a team going to South Africa that, you know, would do something. Although looking back on it now, people say they weren't surprised they didn't do anything. But yeah, good stats. But you know, you're right. Croatia have been a pain. You know, we beat them, of course, in 2004 in Portugal. Looks like you're doing up your flies there, mate.
No. It's my hands.
Your flies.
Somebody else is doing up my flies. No,
you're going to make the girls go all funny. But of course, Euro 2004, that was a famous game where Rooney took them apart, didn't he? 4-2, I believe it was.
That's right. Yeah, 4-2. Remember that? We had some great games against them.
We've had some epic games against them. So it's, you know, ironic, isn't it?
And we were at the Nations League where we had to beat them. Kane scored the winner. Remember at Wembley,
wasn't it?
Brilliant, 85th minute winner by Kane.
Really great day. What was I going to say to you? I've totally forgotten. I've gone off my thread now. Yeah, I mean, that was a great game. Here's a good one for you. You'll know this, but who was the last person to kick a ball in a major tournament at Wembley?
Say that one again. Who was the last?
The last person for England to kick a ball at a major tournament in England, which was at Wembley. The last person to kick a ball at a major tournament in England. This is the ultimate you will kick yourself.
The last player to kick a ball in a big tournament.
At a major tournament, World Cup or Euros?
Well, it's got to be Euros 96.
Right. So there you go. Who was it?
And the last England player?
God. Touched the ball.
Oh. The penalty kick miss.
I mean, you're joking that you don't know this, right, Mr. Statman?
1996.
Or is it too traumatic?
It is very traumatic. Was it left back?
I literally cannot believe.
Left back. Hang on. Left back.
No. This is what's so poetic about this.
Gareth. Is it Southgate?
Yes.
That's right. Southgate missed the penalty.
How poetic is it? How poetic is it? The man.
That's a great stat, Lee. So we're talking about 25 years ago,
and he's now leading England out
almost to the day, and is now leading England out
as manager.
That's brilliant. Yeah, I had to think about that for a minute. Yes, Southgate. Who missed in 90 then?
Pearce and Waddle.
It was Pearce and Waddle. That's right.
But what amazing.
And when did Batty miss?
Argentina against Argentina in France, 98. Yeah, but how poetic is that?
Southgate, yeah, that's a brilliant stat.
Isn't that amazing that he is now next?
Great stat that he is now going to be leading out. That's amazing. That's great. That's brilliant.
I mean, what a opportunity for redemption, right?
Yeah, and it's kind of ironic. Maybe it's kind of great for Southgate to be having played these two friendlies for England at his old stomping ground.
Yeah. Maybe this is Southgate world. We want Gareth to be proven that he is the brilliant manager that he showed signs of being in Russia. It's a totally different dynamic now with England being one of the favourites and expected, to do very well, and obviously semi-final being the minimum requirement for the country. I think less would be.
I'm telling you, we make it through the semis, we'll win.
We'll see. Well, we've got to get rid of France and Germany, really. We surely have to beat finally one of the big boys. We haven't done it since 1966. It's ridiculous, We have not beaten one of the big boys in a major tournament since 66. And I know people always say to me Spain in 96, but they weren't one of the big boys then. Spain were underachievers. They had never won a competition then. I don't think even they've been in the semi-finals of the World Cup until at that point. So, we still have got to make a mark on a tournament by beating one of the big boys. And I think once we get through that barrier, I think that could propel us to champions. But
who's your four big boys?
Four? I mean,
Europe.
France, Italy, Spain, Germany.
France, Italy, Spain, Germany. What about Portugal?
There are six big boys. They're all previous. France, any of them. France, Italy, Spain, Germany, Portugal.
We'll beat Spain. So,
it doesn't matter. I think just the psychological hoodoo of getting through one of those teams in the knockout stage of a tournament. Whether Italy and Holland are up to scratch, I think just beating them.
Well, we beat Holland. We beat Holland 4-1, but not in that was in the group stage, wasn't it?
Not in the knockout.
In the knockout.
We've beaten.
But I think. Listen, though, Lee. If I recall, I think we've only played. Have we played Italy once or twice in the
knockout stages? Just once, I think, in
that's what penalties.
Euro 2012, right? I don't think we played them.
We lost in the third. We lost in the third place playoff too. But
yeah, we did that. That's true. That would be it, but not in a you know a full-blooded encounter. Okay, yeah. I mean, the argument, I guess, is then, well, we haven't played them enough. I mean, Germany really is the one, isn't it? We've played a number of times in knockout. We played Spain. Yeah, we played them in '96. We haven't played them since.
Okay, so saying Germany, we played Germany. We played Germany 4 times since the World Cup. We haven't won.
I think Germany and Portugal are the ones, aren't they? Our nemesis. Pick one of those, our nemesis, and we do. How much would you love to just dump one of those out? I mean, personally, I'd almost prefer to dump Portugal out than Germany.
Ronaldo. Mate, have we played France since '66?
No, I don't think we've. No, we played them in this tournament. We played them in,
not in the last 16 quarterfinal send-off, right?
Fastest ever World Cup goal.
Yeah, but we haven't played them in the knockout stage.
No, we've met them a few times in the groups, but. No, we haven't. And those are, and Portugal and Germany are the ones. I think if we beat one of those in the knockout stages, I think, we would have such momentum behind us that I'd fancy us. But that's a big if. Well, we may get them, but I mean, Germany are most likely on paper to come second in that group. So, but only time will tell, mate. And on that
Sunday. Where are you going to watch it?
Hopefully in the stadium, but that's to be determined.
Well, I'm going up anyway.
Yeah, you're going to be around, right?
I'm going to go up to.
If not, it's got.
I'm going to go up to the stadium anyway.
If not, it will have to be with you. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You're going to be able to get into any pub. They're all booked up, aren't they? Theoretically, would you just go up to the stadium anyway and watch it up on the big screen even if you can't get in? I don't think you can. I think the COVID situation won't allow it. I'm losing light here.
But we have to watch. We'd have to watch it together. We'd have to watch it together.
We should. I need to. Our time is almost up. What I love about having you on the show, mate, is it literally is like sitting in the living room.
That's funny.
We're not on the show, are we? It's like, it's just like there should be a fireside, So I do. If you don't like that format, everybody, sorry, but it's Keith. It's like two mates catching up. It's like the Graham Norton show of football show.
That's funny. Yep, great. It's a Graham Norton show.
But it's always great. I mean, we'll do more of this in the tournament. We'll see how the reaction is, mate. I have no idea, but no, I do enjoy that. It's always like there's no camera there.
Yeah,
but there is, and I can see it's. I can see it is now in big letters there, mate. I'm gonna call it short. I'm gonna call our fireside.
There you go. Look,
I'm gonna deem it brilliant. Love it.
All right.
All right. I'm gonna deem it past because you're using your light over there. Look, we are almost there. We'll come to you a couple of times this week with latest updates. Keith, maybe you'll join us. But it's all over bar the shouting. Euro 2020 will be with us in 5 days. Can't wait. Can't wait to watch other teams suffer. Then when we suffer, we suffer. But look, mate, it's been great to have you. Great T-shirt.
Yeah, thank you, lovely jubbly.
We're about to go through another roller coaster ride together. You ready?
Yeah, definitely.
All right,
ready, mate.
We'll talk to you soon. Thank you very much, Keith. I'm going to let you go now, but always good. Cheers, mate. All right, everybody. Great to have Keith on there. 5 more days to go. Looking forward to it. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. Facebook, you know where we are. We are going to be as active as possible during the tournament. This should be your first stop for everything England at Euro 2020. Facebook.com/Gadsby'sEngland, Gadsby'sEngland.com, Twitter.com/Gadsby'sEngland, Instagram. We're going to try and ignite it, and the YouTube channel is just Gadsby's England. And please subscribe, as I said. Please like and subscribe. Join us for Euro 2020, 5 days away. I hope you can't wait because we can't. Take care.